Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. It actually happened. Something that just a few weeks ago felt like pure off-season fantasy. Like one of those viral what-if edits that fans toss around on social media for fun, has now become a jaw-dropping reality. Aaron Rodgers is no longer a New York Jet. He's taken his talents, his arm, and his legendary resume to South Beach. That's right. Rodgers is now the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. And just like that, the entire AFC has been thrown into chaos. Let's not sugarcoat it. This is one of the wildest quarterback moves in recent NFL history. Not just because of who Rodgers is, a four-time MVP, a Super Bowl champion, one of the greatest to ever throw a football, but because of everything that's led up to this. The context, the timing, the destination. This isn't just a trade, it's a tectonic shift. This is Brett Favre going to the Vikings, Brady to the Bucs, but with even more fireworks because of the sheer unpredictability of it all. Think about it. Just last year, the Jets were hailed as a team that finally fixed its quarterback problem after decades of spinning in circles. When Rodgers landed in New York, it felt like the end of an era of futility. He brought hope, credibility, and a swagger that the franchise hadn't seen in generations. The hype was off the charts. The defense was elite. The weapons were promising. And in week one, it all fell apart. One torn Achilles later, and the dream was over before it even started. But here's where the twist gets even crazier. Rodgers, the philosopher and competitor, stayed in the picture, rehabbed like a man, possessed, talked about miraculous returns, became a sideline presence, engaged with the fan base. It looked like he was setting the stage for a heroic comeback in 2025, with the Jets running it back, this time for real. But apparently behind the scenes, something wasn't clicking. Whether it was philosophical differences with the coaching staff, doubts about the offensive line, or simply a desire for a warmer climate and a different locker room vibe, Rodgers made his decision. He asked out. And the Dolphins, man, they didn't hesitate. Miami has been a team on the edge of greatness for a couple of years now. With Tua Tagovailoa, they have flashes of brilliance. The offense could light it up with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Though the defense had talent, the coaching was sharp. But there were always question marks, mainly around Tua's health, consistency, and ability to lead a deep playoff run. The front office saw a window, and with a stacked AFC, they weren't going to wait around and hope. They made the call. They pulled the trigger. According to sources close to the situation, the Dolphins sent a package including 2 first-round picks, a conditional second, and Tua Tagovailoa to the Jets in exchange for Rodgers and a mid-round pick. It's a bold move. Some might say reckless, but it's exactly the kind of swing you take when you're chasing a Super Bowl window that's wide open right now. For Miami, the time is now. And they're betting that Rodgers, even at 41, still has enough left in the tank to get them over the hump. For the Jets, it's a stunning turn of events. After all the investment, the media blitz, the merchandising, and the emotional weight of Rodgers and Gotham, they're left starting over again. But maybe this isn't a complete reset. With Tua coming in, they now have a young quarterback who's shown he can be highly productive. He's accurate, smart, and has playoff experience. It's not the worst fallback option in the world, especially if he can stay healthy and thrive under Robert Saleh's leadership and Nathaniel Hackett's system. Still, this isn't what Jets fans signed up for. Not even close. Rodgers was supposed to be the guy to change the culture, to erase the ghosts of quarterback busts past, from Darnold to Sanchez to Geno. Instead, he played 4 snaps. 4. And now he's in the same division, wearing aqua and orange, and possibly ready to torch the Jets twice a year. Talk about a plot twist. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? Now let's look ahead, because the 2025 NFL season just became must-see TV. Think about the matchups. Rodgers versus Josh Allen. Rodgers versus Mahomes. Rodgers versus Joe Burrow. And yes, Rodgers versus the New York Jets. Twice. The AFC East is now an absolute war zone. The Bills are still contenders. The Jets are trying to retool. The Patriots are in full rebuild mode. And now the Dolphins. They're all in, swinging for the fences, hoping this move turns them from playoff hopefuls into legit title contenders. And for Rodgers, it's a fascinating final chapter. Miami offers a new challenge, a new climate, a new conference, but also a roster loaded with speed, creativity, and ambition. It's a far cry from the cold winters of Green Bay or the media frenzy of New York. In Miami, he gets a fresh start and maybe one last shot at glory. Of course, this comes with pressure. A lot of it. If the Dolphins stumble, if Rodgers struggles, if they miss the playoffs, it's going to get loud. The critics will pile on. The should have stayed retired takes will fly. But Rodgers has never been afraid of that. He thrives on doubt. He feeds on skepticism. And you just know he's been listening to everyone. Meanwhile, Tua now finds himself in a strange but potentially redemptive position. He's no longer the face of a franchise in Miami, but he's got a shot to lead a proud organization in New York, one that's starving for a hero. It won't be easy. The AFC is brutal. The media spotlight is intense, but he's battled through adversity before. Don't count him out. This trade changes everything, not just for these two teams, but for the entire league. It reshapes playoff projections. It alters the power dynamics of the AFC. And it sends a message that no matter how unpredictable or dramatic the NFL gets, there's always another twist coming, always another headline waiting to explode. So here we are, Aaron Rodgers, a Dolphin, Tua, a Jet, and the football world once again left shaking its head in disbelief. The only certainty now, the 2025 season is going to be unforgettable. And you better believe we'll be watching every single snap. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.